Hello, and thank you for joining us on this edition of BroncTV News. I'm Myra Gomez.
And I'm Daniel Morales.
Coming up, an award winner editor visited our campus, find out what brought him here. And 2 years after the hailstorm, McAllen residents still remember the costly aftermath. You'll hear from them. Plus, we dug deeper in what it takes to become a Border Patrol agent. And when do you find it most appropriate to take a selfie? We took our cameras to the street for your response.
Plus, we'll bring you the success story of 2 students whose lives were changed by the Deferred Action Program. And in the state of Texas, the world of mariachi music is big. We'll bring you the very latest of a special group from the Rio Grande Valley who won a very unique title. And your updated Bronc News forecast. But first, we have developing news out of Hidalgo County this afternoon. Hidalgo County Sheriff Lupe Trevino has resigned from office as of 10:52 a.m. today.
That's right, Daniel. His retirement is as effective as of today after 9 years of service to Hidalgo County. He wrote a letter to Hidalgo County Judge Ramon Garcia, citing both internal and external pressures placed upon him since December 12, 2012, as the reason for his resignation.
A press conference is expected to be held at 2 p.m. Count on BroncTV News for the latest.
A Valley native who graduated from UTPA and won one of television's biggest awards came back to his hometown to show everyone in South Texas that anyone can make their dreams a reality. Our very own Alex Peña reports.
Just introduce myself again. My name is Escobar.
You won't see his face in front of a television screen, but his work,
Amazing Race, Big Brother, Top Chef,
speaks for itself.
So I've done probably like over 30 shows.
His biggest achievement seems to catch people's attention everywhere he goes. Emmy Award-winning editor Steven Escobar spoke to high school students during Festiva Week, sharing his television experience in Hollywood and his early life growing up in Edinburgh.
It's nice to kind of give back to the community, my way of giving back, and just coming to speak to them.
Escobar visited our studios for this BroncTV exclusive, recounting the few opportunities available at UTPA where he attended in the early 1990s.
I got to say that the studio here is better than some of the Hollywood studios that I've worked on. It's something that I never had growing up and didn't really have any of that stuff when I was going to school.
His big break finally came after moving to Los Angeles.
Working on The Amazing Race was a big feat for me because I had been trying to get on that show for a very long time.
5 years to be exact, but his Emmy followed in 2007.
Being nominated for the first time was like an accomplishment on its own because I never thought that I would get to that point.
But he did, and Escobar is proof that hard work and patience pays off even for those from South Texas. Now his demand in Hollywood is high. Reporting for BroncTV News, this is Alex Peña.
They're so close to the American dream, yet so far. Students who receive help through the Deferred Action Program receive a bright future, hope for a bright future, and a possible immigration reform. Jesus Esparza brings us the details.
The DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, was made for children of immigrants who want to have an opportunity to work and study while pursuing citizenship.
We weren't able to travel within the U.S. or outside of the U.S., and we weren't able to work.
For Eric, it is an opportunity to obtain a work permit and pursue a better life in the U.S.
Since I received DACA, since I was given the work permit, it's allowed me to travel. It's allowed me to get an ID, a driver's license.
Every 2 years, students who receive DACA have to renew it, but for them, it is the first time renewing it.
Since it's the first time that we're going to be renewing it, we're still in the process of learning.
The benefits of DACA are many, especially for students who need it to pursue their education.
It's a good step in the right direction. You know, I know it's preventing, it's allowing students who were brought here illegally without their choice.
The Minority Affairs Council helps students who want to apply for DACA.
We help them with questions they have over their paperwork, if they're missing anything.
These small steps give some hope for a gradually comprehensive immigration reform, which some students yearn for the families who have received DACA.
What we're seeking is we're pressuring the Obama administration to hopefully help administrative relief, which is stop all deportations, which the president does have the power to do that.
I'm pretty sure that he can do more because like administrative relief for our parents, or not letting Republicans take the DACA away, because They want to take it away.
For BroncTV, I am Jesus Esparza.
2 years have gone by since the devastating hailstorm of 2012, leaving families to repair the damage until today. Sergio Puente has the story.
On the evening of March 29, 2012, outflow from 2 severe thunderstorms collided in North McAllen, one of the most densely populated regions of the Rio Grande Valley. The collision of the outflow boundaries with an already unstable atmosphere spelled a recipe for disaster. The hailstorm caused over $200 million in damage for the city of McAllen.
Because the atmosphere was still pretty cold overall, being late March, the surface wasn't cold, but above the surface was still cold. It was able to generate not only a lot of ice, but hard ice. And that hard ice was because there was moisture up there to create ice balls versus, say, snow hail, which can be hail that can fall and crack on impact. These were falling like ice cubes. And the combination of that with microburst winds of hurricane force that were coming out of the supercell storm drove that hail from the north to the south into northern facing exposures in North McAllen, West McAllen, over to Mission for about 30 to 45 minutes, give or take, depending on where people lived.
Around 7 o'clock that evening, one of my customers said that there was a storm coming. I didn't really believe her because it was a really nice day that day. So I thought, oh, maybe a storm will blow in later in the evening.
I've never been in a tornado, but it sounded like a train was coming, and that's the first thing I remember about hearing all those experiences.
I couldn't hear other people around me talking. And it was like a really loud screeching, piercing in my ear.
It was horrible. Almost all of the windows from this north side were blown in. If you can see, there's pretty big wind shutters. Those were cracked. The hail was just coming into the house. I don't wish it upon anyone. And unless you were there, you don't understand.
To prep for something like that, it came up so quick. It's really hard to prep for things like that. It's different from a hurricane where you kind of know in advance if something like that's going to happen.
Meteorologist Barry Goldsmith urges residents to remember March 2012. Pay attention to the weather, especially between the end of March and the end of May. He encourages to take a plan of action when you know severe weather is possible. Know your safe zones and know what to do during warnings and watches. For BroncTV, I'm Sergio Puente.
It was quite a great week we had, right, Dan?
You know, as cloudy as it was, Myra, I think I still got dark. Here's Karina Cantu with your updated Bronc weather forecast.
Nearing record temperatures with mostly sunny skies, 95 degrees for today after a chilly past couple of days here in South Texas. As we move out to CR into our extended 5-day weather forecast, mid-80s for the weekend, nice sunshine with lows in the 60s, leaving us still in the mid-80s for the beginning of the week, 82 degrees on Tuesday with some stray showers in the area, clearing up of course by Wednesday, leaving us at a high of 87. There's a look at your 5-day Bronc weather forecast. Now back to you, Dan.
The Mariposa Mariachi group is an all-female ensemble from the Rio Grande Valley who went to state and won big. Myra Gomez has the details.
Dedication, determination, and the love for mariachi music is what has taken Mariachi Mariposas to the level where they are at today.
Well, I feel very, privileged. I feel super blessed to be in a group with an all-female mariachi.
Mariachi Mariposas is made up of only girls, and their music has touched many hearts not only in the valley, but also around the state of Texas. The fact that the group is made up of only girls was not an obstacle for them to win first place at a mariachi competition in Houston, Texas on March 16th in front of more than 80,000 people.
When we got selected for the Houston Rodeo, we said, okay, this is it. So we worked a little harder, and so this is where we ended up, and hard work pays off.
For Mariachi Mariposas, this recognition is only the beginning of the fame that they wish to achieve.
And now you won this award, so now it's time to grow and go for bigger and better things.
For BroncTV, I am Myra Gomez. All across the Rio Grande Valley, federal agents protect international bridges and ports of entry. But what exactly does it take to become a Border Patrol agent? Well, Daniel Morales can tell us more.
The U.S. Customs and Border Protection is the largest law enforcement agency within the Department of Homeland Security. The priority mission? Prevent terrorists and terrorist weapons from entering the United States and ensuring the security of our nation at America's borders and ports of entry. With over 1,900 miles of our border with Mexico and 5,000 miles of our border with Canada, we have over 20,000 Border Patrol agents keeping us safe. But what does it take to become a Border Patrol agent? All applicants need to be United States citizens, between the ages of 18 and 39, possess a valid driver's license, and apply online at www.cpb.gov/careers.
Once they apply and the application is accepted, they will be scheduled for a written exam. If the written exam is satisfactorily completed, then they move on to an oral hiring board in which they are interviewed by Border Patrol personnel. Once they get past that interview, they will go through a background investigation and a physical examination along with a polygraph test. Once that has been completed, there is a vacancy announcement, and if there's a vacancies, then that agent is offered a position. Once that position is accepted by the agent, then the next step is for that person to be sent to the Border Patrol Academy to be trained as a Border Patrol agent.
And what kind of advice would Officer Tirado give to someone seeking to become a Border Patrol agent?
You know, my advice is that if you're interested in law enforcement, if you like the outdoors, if you have it in your heart to serve your country, to serve your community by protecting our borders, the U.S. Border Patrol has an outstanding career for you.
Finally, we asked Officer Tirado, what is something people generally don't know about your job or are surprised to find out?
We encounter members of the public, or we do some Border Patrol presentations to local community members. They are surprised to know that we're community members, we're part of the community, that we live here, that we are humans more than anything, that there's a human side to all of our agents, that any time that there's any sort of need, we're always there to help our community. And that's something that a lot of people don't know.
For BroncTV News, I'm Daniel Morales.
So Dan, when do you find it appropriate to take a selfie?
Well, you know, our very own Nancy Pateo has details in this week's edition of Man on the Street.
We all have that one friend who blows up our Facebook and Instagram feed with their constant selfies. You know who they are, and if you don't, it's probably you. I went around campus to see what you think about this selfie craze.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it kind of defines our generation.
It's okay for me because I take selfies.
Well, you know, I don't really think about it that much. It's a picture. So if people want to take pictures, they can go ahead and take pictures.
But how many selfies is too many for one day?
10. Too many. Or 5, no, 5. It's too many.
Neil Armstrong, he went on the moon, he took 5 pictures. I've seen someone who take 60 pictures, 70 pictures in the restroom in like 5 minutes, so.
Like if I looked at someone's like Facebook or whatever and all of their photos were selfies, I'd be kind of, you know, what else do you do?
I think one's good for the day. You just need to take the one and you should be all right.
So we know you shouldn't go crazy posting selfies, but is there a wrong time to take one?
In the restroom.
When you're in the toilet, when you're in the restroom.
If you're sitting on the toilet, I wouldn't do that.
So stop those bathroom selfies. And the most annoying selfie of all time is?
Duck face.
People who do duck faces.
The ones where people are making duck face.
Although seeing so many selfies on our timeline can get a little annoying, we're okay with it for the most part. So to all you selfie-obsessed people out there,
do what you do, I guess. If that's what makes you happy. Just don't exaggerate on taking a lot of selfies, I guess.
Live your life. Do what you want to do. If you like the way you look and you're confident in yourself, then go for it.
Selfie on.
If you have a story idea, don't hesitate to let us know. Visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/BroncTVRadio. And if you want to know more about what we do here at BroncTV, enter our web page at www.utpa.edu/BRTV.
You can also reach us via Twitter. Just search for our Twitter handle at BroncRadioTV. Use hashtag story idea for what you want us to cover. Thank you for joining us on this edition of BroncTV News. I am Myra Gomez.
And I'm Daniel Morales. Until next time.